Hello, smart investors. I hope you're doing well. My name is Gabriel Jarrison. Today, we're going to have a look at Insidecom raising on Republic, and we're starting right now. So here I am on Republic's website, Insidecom. Here I am with my investment criteria. If you don't know about them, you can download the criteria for free in the link in the description. And without further ado, it will allow you to understand what I'm talking about. And without further ado, let's start. So Insidecom is a social network for newsletters, meeting new colleagues, and virtual events. I'm going to focus on the newsletter side because that's what you really know the website for. It is raising right now. It's trending. It has 1,645% of the minimum goal raised. And I have to mention that there's a special deal with the valuation cap at only 25 million instead of 30 million. So right out of the gate, a few things. Notable investors: Jason Calacanis is the co-founder. Sequoia invested. Mark Cuban invested. Pretty cool. Right out of the gate, as they say, tier one VC backing. Profitable. There's a lot of stuff. It raised on Seed Invest. There's a 28% quarter-on-quarter growth from Q3 20 to Q3 21. So the past 4 quarters. There's a lot of good stuff about this company. So what can we? What is it? First of all, let's start there. So it is a website where you can subscribe to a bunch of newsletters. Some of them are free. Some of them you have to pay for. They're newsletters in different verticals, in different industries. So you have business, tech, dev, security, streaming, podcast, blah, blah, blah. Crypto, of course. Once a day, 7 days a week. This is 5 times a week. But you get the gist. So they're free. They have 2 monetization strategy. First of all, some of those newsletters you have to pay for. Those, I guess, are the free ones that they display here. But after, when you subscribe to Inside Business, they will ask you if you want to go to Inside Pro. There it is. And this is a paid subscription to unlock more content, private Slack community, events, premium newsletters, etc., etc. So this is the first monetization. And the second monetization is when you subscribe to the newsletter, they have sponsors in the newsletter, just like Morning Brew. I'm sure you know about Morning Brew. Morning Brew is completely free, but there's advertising in the newsletter, and this is how they're able to make money. So this is Morning Brew. Okay, so let's go back to our Republic page. What can we gather in the criteria that is good? So first of all, there is good traction because we have 28% quarter-on-quarter growth from Q3 2020 to Q3 2021. So there's good traction, all right? We know how they monetize. We just talked about it. It is a scalable product, completely scalable. It's a newsletter. It's completely digital. It is in a great market. Emails, newsletters. What bigger market can you wish for? So that's things that we can immediately see. It has good margins because when you pay for the pro version, there's no fixed cost. There's only fixed cost and no cost per additional subscriber. You pay the journalists and the writers who write the newsletter. You pay them once, but then as you add more and more and more people to the service, your prices, your cost doesn't increase, but your revenues do increase. So it is up to 100% margin. All right, so this is a good, very, very good start. What can we say with the team? Let's go take a look at the team. Traction. So we see the numbers here. As you can see, 2019, 2020 was slower and actually here on the decline. But then 2020, now we have steady growth for over a year, and I think it's really picking up, which is probably what prompted this raise. They're thinking they have good numbers now, so it's a good time to raise. Sorry. The market, okay. What's interesting is the founder. So the founder is actually Jason Calacanis. He's one of the founders. So if you don't know Jason Calacanis, early investor in Uber, Robinhood, and Calm, founder of the syndicate. So it is a big investment syndicate for accredited investors with 9,000 plus members. So if you are a member of Jason's syndicate, you can back my syndicate. The link is in the description. You have to be accredited, of course, but feel free. I'm more than happy to have you in my syndicate. And launch accelerator, which is also a big startup accelerator. And then All In Podcast, top 50 podcasts in the world, blah, blah, blah. So having Jason as a founder is really cool. It makes for a great team, and it makes actually for an unfair advantage in itself. You can, be here and thinking, well, this is just a newsletter thing. And it is just a newsletter thing. But when you have Jason Calacanis as a founder, it gives you such an unfair advantage. And one of the unfair advantages that it gives you is this. If you go on Twitter and if you look at Jason's profile, Jason Calacanis, here we are. And Jason has 471,000 followers on Twitter. So, one tweet from him would blow anything to, hundreds probably of retweets and a lot of replies. Well, actually, it's not hundreds, but there it is. Nice to see our equity crowdfunding is growing nicely. 4 retweets. Oh, that's it, Jason? Come on. Well, you know what I mean, though, right? 471,000 subscribers is big. We don't have his Twitter analytics, but probably it's getting a lot of prints and a lot of people seeing this. And he can do, he can promote any newsletter, any content, anything. So that's a big thing. And he's also on... so the Insidecom is a big thing. Also the All In podcast. So I think they just broke top 50 podcasts in the world. And so all of this being said, he can also talk about it on the podcast. They have 110,000 followers. It is a big deal to be founded by Jason Calacanis. Jason Calacanis is a big deal. I hope you're watching this, Jason, and hello. But yeah, it is a big deal. So it is in itself an unfair advantage. They have also Sequoia as an investor, which is also, I think, somehow of an unfair advantage. Very cool. All of this means that it's not a random project, but it is a very, well-funded, very well. A lot of people know about this project and are going to hear about it. So I think it's a pretty good unfair advantage and pretty tough to beat. And now we're down to the last thing, which is valuation. So valuation is 30 million, but there's a special deal depending on when you're watching this video, but it's 25. I think it's going to expire at some point. Let's see, how much revenue they did for that valuation to see if it's worth it or not. So the revenue in 2021 is 2.8 million with, as I said, an average of 28% quarter-on-quarter growth. Which is close to a 10% per month, which is good. It's not the best that we've ever seen, but it's very decent and pretty good. And so I think for 2.8 million revenue, and I think, did I see somewhere the projected? 1.8 in 2020. In 2021, 2020 is going to be 2.8 plus. It's going to be actually probably more, 3 point something. And somewhere maybe they said how much they're projecting for 2022. The revenue, no, they're not. Okay, I thought I read it. But 2022, if we do, so let's see. Okay, let's do let's do the calculations. It's interesting. Where is the revenue for 2021? I lost it on the page. Okay, here we are. So 2.8. Let's have 2.8 divided by 3 because it's 3 quarters. So it's 0.93 per quarter times 4. So we can come in 2021 at 3.7. Then they're growing 28% quarter on quarter. So times 28, 1.28, 4 times for the 4 quarters of 20. No, that's not it. Is that it? 9.9 million in 2022? 28% quarter on quarter. Yeah, that's it. So if they keep it at that pace, they could end up at 9.9 million in 2022, which I don't think they will. It's too much. But, if they end up at 4 or 5, not 4, because they're at 3.7 this year, but if they end up at, 6, 7, 8, it's pretty decent, once again, for that 25 million valuation. So for me, valuation is going to be a green light as well. So all green, this is for me absolutely investable. And I am actually going to invest here on Republic. Feel free to mention in the comments which video you want me to look at from Republic for a future video. Thank you for watching until the end. If you are not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing and giving me a thumbs up. And write down in the comments which video you want for the next analysis, and I'll be more than happy to publish it. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Have a good one. Bye, everyone.